Welcome to Uncaged Zootours. If you are new to the channel and love animals, I recommend and appreciate hitting the like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to join me on my tours. My friends, we are back at the North Carolina Zoo. For those who aren't aware, we started our journey in one of the largest zoos with the cypress swamp and the rocky coast, which featured alligators, cougars, a harbor seal, America's only parakeet auklet, and even polar bears. Our second tour will be the Streamside and Prairie sections. Like the swamp and coast, both areas opened in 1994. While the Streamside showcases how streams are important to the ecosystem, the Prairie showcases a slice of the Yellowstone ecosystem along with one of the world's rarest canines. We'll meet some animals that I haven't talked about in a while and some that I can't wait to showcase. Let's begin. The first exhibit is right inside this building. The first tank is home to a bunch of fish, such as the swallow-tailed shiner and the spot-tailed shiner. There's the hellbender salamander that I didn't see, but the next tank, showcases more Streamside residents. But the star of this tank is the short-nosed sturgeon. Unlike most fish, sturgeons are primitive fish, as they have experienced very few changes in appearance. But even without evolution, sturgeons have been around for over 245 million years. Despite this, some sturgeon species are critically endangered due to overfishing. Some people want to eat the sturgeon for its eggs, which are great caviar. However, some sturgeons are completely protected, and catching them is illegal. Moving on. Fish aren't the only residents you may find in a stream. Sometimes you might see predators, like the North American river otter. When was the last time you talked about them? It was in episode 2, the Birmingham Zoo's Alabama Wilds. Unlike most mammals, otters don't hibernate. They don't have blubber to stay warm. Instead, the otter has a thick double coat that helps him stay nice and warm. The otter fluffs its fur to trap air, which acts as insulation. Otters must keep looking for food in order to survive the harsh winter. Usually, a nice, juicy crayfish is a perfect winter meal for an otter. The next building showcases life that can be found around streams. By the way, streams are important to the environment because they provide good drinking water, remove waste, power our cities with hydroelectricity, and are great places for boating and swimming. Our next animal is a barred owl. Please stop giving me the death stare, it's making me feel uncomfortable. Barred owls are one of the most vocal, and their call reminds me of the phrase, "Who cooks for you?" They are also the ninjas of the owl family. A barred owl's feathers are so soft and have a comb-like edge that softens the owl's flight. There are a bunch of terrariums that feature several venomous reptiles, such as the Carolina pygmy rattlesnake, timber rattlesnake, and the eastern cottonmouth. Everyone is either avoiding me or just giving me the death stare, but the spotlight goes to the copperhead. Unlike the otter, copperheads survive the winter by hibernating, but as I said in episode 17, they sleep together. Even though the copperhead is shy, it is still venomous. If a copperhead bites you, you might experience swelling, nausea, rapid heart rate, muscle twitching, and a weird rubbery feeling in your mouth. But some of the snakes in this section are venomous. The corn snake is harmless. The corn snake can spend some of its time in the trees, hunting eggs, but other times it can slither on the ground, squeezing through rocks and walls on the prowl for rodents. How can I forget the eastern fence lizard and the spotted turtle? I see that you are very interested in my phone. Like zebra stripes, no two spotted turtles have the exact number of spots. Let's head outside to meet a very friendly feline. Say hello to Allie the bobcat. Like I said in episode 16, bobcats can be found across North America, but are also solitary. Bobcats also mark their territory by scratching, urinating, and pooping. That's the last time I do toilet humor. It's gross. Sometimes, bobcats are also known as red lynxes, even though they are in the same genus as the lynx. Bobcats can hunt rodents, rabbits, and birds, but are really shy around humans. Despite this, bobcats are hunted by farmers who protect their livestock and are also hunted for their fur. However, the IUCN lists the bobcat as least concern due to their wide range. Bobcats are cool, but I have even more surprises this way. Another animal that I haven't talked about in a while is the American black bear. Despite their name, black bears come in various colors, such as black, brown, cinnamon, white, blue, and even blonde. As of 2022, the zoo is home to 2 black bears named Luna and Nova. According to the zoo, Luna is full of energy and is very rowdy, while Nova is more laid back and loves to relax. They also love to check out new arrivals. Besides, a black bear's smell is 7 times more powerful than a bloodhound's. They also have great eyesight too. Bears also have sharp claws that are great for climbing or digging up grubs. They can eat almost anything, including grass, berries, rodents. Black bears can be found almost anywhere in North America, including Yellowstone National Park. Speaking of which, the next exhibit is one of the largest habitats in the zoo, and it's a lot of space for the mighty American bison, one of America's icons and a symbol of conservation. Bison have very dense fur to help them survive the cold. On top of that, bison have a large hunch on their back, which is made of muscles, to help them plow through snow. Despite this bulk, bison can also jump, swim, and charge up to 35 miles per hour. Both males and females have beards and horns. Horns are made of a 2-part structure. The inner part of the horn is made of bone and covered by keratin, the same material as our hair and fingernails. The horns also grow throughout the bison's life, around 25 years in captivity. But the bison also share this space with elk, who are all about antlers. Unlike horns, antlers are bones and are part of the animal's skull, and only the boys wear this bony headwear. Every year, antlers are replaced. When it's spring, the new antlers are covered by a soft coating called velvet, and by summertime, the elk peels the velvet away, revealing a hardcore layer underneath. In the fall, the antlers are solid bone. Bull elk use their antlers for sparring with each other over females. A bull elk's rack can weigh up to 40 pounds. If I had to carry a rack on my head, I would fall over. Another prairie resident is Ronan, the channel's first grizzly bear. Grizzly bears are larger than black bears and they have a big shoulder hump. And they also have longer claws, but like black bears, they search for food in the summer and fall asleep through the winter. Grizzly bears usually sleep in high places like mountainsides. Unlike most hibernating mammals, grizzly bears go through a state of inactivity called torpor. Like hibernation, torpor causes the bear's heart rate, breathing, metabolism, and body temperature to drop. Not to mention, they can wake up if anyone disturbs them. I don't want to wake them up, so let's quietly move on. What animals were the black bears looking at earlier? I'm glad you asked. The mystery animal that those black bears were looking at was the red wolf. Red wolves are a smaller cousin of the gray wolf and a larger cousin of the coyote. But the red wolf almost went extinct. Early European settlers saw the wolf as a threat and started exterminating them. By the early 1900s, the red wolf almost went extinct due to predator control programs, overhunting, and even hybridization with coyotes. The red wolf was officially declared extinct in the wild in 1980, but a captive bred population was started at the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. By 1987, those wolves were released in eastern North Carolina. Despite this success, there are only 30 wild red wolves in the world, and only in a small part of North Carolina. But the North Carolina Zoo has helped this wolf recover by housing the world's second largest pack of breeding red wolves. In May 2021, the zoo shared that 3 litters were born in 3 days. The zoo's current female will soon be joined by 2 males, the wolves that the black bears were looking at earlier. And hopefully, this introduction will add to the numbers of the most endangered canine. One of the interactive displays features one of my favorite things, soundboards. If you press these buttons, you might hear the howls of the red wolf. Gray wolf, and coyote. And we are finished with our second tour of the North Carolina Zoo. My friends, there are still more adventures at one of the world's largest zoos. Which exhibit would you like to see next? If we head down the hill, we'll reach the Desert Dome, a showcase of deserts from all over the world. We'll meet the kookaburra of Australia, the Sonoran Desert's Gila monster, Asia's sandcats, and even the vampire bats of South America. Our other option is Africa. As we head on our safari, we'll meet America's largest chimpanzee troop, zebras, flamingos, lemurs, and gorillas. But the best part is, we'll visit America's largest elephant complex. Today's question is, where is that piece of paper? Here you go! You dropped it! Thank you, my friend. You're welcome! What animals would you like to see on my tours and why? As always, thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching.